Good morning, all. I hope you've had a good morning thus far. I hope you slept well. I'm kind of quiet because everybody in my house is still sleeping. I swear I wake up so early. That said, this is going to be kind of a couple deep videos. So last night I watched Valhalla, and they lifted his ban on YouTube, but he moved over to Rumble to finish the last part of the program to get a little saucy and dicey. Like I said, that's what people with integrity and honorability and the will to fight the good fight, you figure out a way. When you have all this systematic abuse, all this cyber attacking, you figure out a way. That said, he uncovered a lot, and a lot of it I kind of already knew. I think we all know. And I think what we're seeing right now is people aren't understanding that there's a lot of people tapping into their consciousness. I'm going to spend a lot of time on that because people aren't understanding, okay? Like when it comes to Jelly Roll and Bunny, Selena, what's his name? Her boyfriend, Billie Eilish, the Kardashians, Sabrina Carpenter, all these spiritualists with high profile numbers. Like, you can't pay attention to the numbers. You can't pay attention to the numbers. You can't pay attention to the status. You can't pay attention to the following. You can't pay attention to the monetary value that they carry. Like, it's all a facade. It's all fake. All right. Unfortunately, it just is. In a lot of different cases. And the reason why I know that is because when you look at them, or when you listen to the words that are coming out of their mouth, right? There's no substance, there's no value to it. It's just kind of like air, and they're hitting the key notes that they're being told they have to hit. Why? Because they're just a bot. Unfortunately, they're just out here and playing the positions they're supposed to be in this psyop that we all have been in. We're just now all waking up to it because we're tapping into our conscious level, right? And so you kind of start seeing that, and we're seeing that on the grand scale. Like, for instance, Trump, right? Now we're going to divert and manipulate and start talking about aliens, which we already all knew. Thank you. Cool. And then, of course, like we all knew was coming, the war that's happening, and in the positioning and all the money that he's funneling in to do this, which none of this is going to help the Americans, but yet spend the money, right? Just for example, in reference to the tariffs, his response to the tariffs was like a toddler being told no. And he's like, well, I don't care. I'm going to do what I want. I can destroy anyone in any country I want, essentially is what he said. In the grand scheme of things, I mean, it's literally like a toddler having a temper tantrum. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now on the big scale. It's a lot of toddlers having tantrums and throwing out propaganda in our face and throwing out all these different things. And so it's all a part of the unmasking and the unveiling of everything that has to fall. It just is. And I hope this video is resonating. I hope you're following me. Okay. And again, this is my personal opinions, my personal beliefs. You don't have to agree with me, nor believe me, or watch me, or you can be my private accounts that keep watching me. Whatever works for you, okay? And so, for example, you can't pay attention. This is what came to me right before, like, I laid down, and I'm sitting there in my prayers and my thoughts, and I'm talking to God in my head about everything that's going on, because it is getting heavy in reference to everything that we're seeing, right? And immediately, I went squirrel in my thoughts, and this is how it operates with me. I started thinking about these things in reference to Jelly and Bunny and Selena and just all these people in the entertainment biz, all these people in the political business that have a substantial amount of following, have a substantial amount of status quo. But if you look at them, unfortunately, they're soulless. They're soulless. And the reason why it's hitting you so different now is because you've tapped into your consciousness. And let me explain to you what that means. It means you're aware of your surroundings. It means you're aware of your thoughts. You're aware of your emotions. You're aware that you exist. You aware that there's something psychologically, spiritually inhumane going on. You can feel it in your body, right? And so when you watch these people in whatever facet, it's hitting you different. You're like, this doesn't feel right. Something about this ain't making sense. They don't look right. It doesn't feel right. I don't like what I'm receiving. And that's because of your conscious level at what you're at. And your body's telling you, and your mind's telling you, and your spirit's telling you, it ain't right. Nothing about it is right. All right. And so that's where we're at right now. They're playing their role just in a body with no soul, unfortunately. And that's kind of what's happened throughout the years and many, many decades, where people have kind of tapped in whatever facet, whether it's in the entertainment business, whether it's in the political business, whether it's in the CEO business, whether that's in corporate America, whether that's in the banking, whether that's in the government, whatever, right? So many people have taken the bait, unfortunately, signed the line, right? And now they're just operating in their flesh, in their body. They don't have a soul. So they're being used for propaganda in different ways, which I'm going to touch on that, which is all in the Epstein files. It's so hilarious in reference to the PSYOP and the operation that they use on the mental stance to hit the masses on the propaganda train, right? No consciousness. When your consciousness rises, you start seeing or feeling things differently when you speak. That's what your higher self is telling you, something isn't right. Exactly. It's not I'm thinking, it's I'm aware that I'm thinking. So like when you're seeing like all these clips come out with Jelly Roll and Bad Bunny and Epstein and Upchurch and, Selena, all the Kardashians, different Jay-Z, P. Diddy. I mean, all these different angles in reference to the entertainment biz, right? You're seeing it and you're like, wow, this has all been kind of in my face, but I'm aware of it now. I'm aware of it. I'm aware of why something about so-and-so and so-and-so hasn't quite made sense to you, right? And that's kind of something for me that I've woken up to in the last year and a half, 2 years, really, of recognizing that everything around me made not one bit of sense. Nothing in my life made sense. All the players in my life weren't making sense. They were playing their part, right? And whatever part they were designated to play, and that was up to them because we all have free will. But for me, I was living always truly and authentically myself, whether it was good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. I was still being authentically myself. I wasn't in a reality playing a part to push out to whatever I was in negative illusions and tactics. And see, there was a lot of people in my life that were unfortunately put in my life to play whatever part they were designed to play. Same thing with Charlie Kirk, right? And when I started tapping into my consciousness and I started tapping in to who I am and building the strength within myself and recognizing that all of these people outside of me had no power over me and my thoughts and my feelings and my emotions and my truth. Now, do I know that there's been a whole propaganda train and smear campaign and narrations put out there in reference to me? Oh, absolutely. I see it every day. I walk out this door. I'm well aware of that. But again, that is not my truth. It might be truth that people go out and spread to the masses, just like propaganda, right? Because they don't want the truth to come out in reference to all the things that they have been doing to various people around the world with handlers, right? Same thing with Charlie. Like, there's so many people in this world that have been designated handlers. It's crazy to me that we think that it's all like you can continue going on in your life and pretending this doesn't exist, but it blatantly does exist, okay? And if it didn't exist, then there wouldn't be so many people moving mountains to stop the truth from coming out. You see, like, I wouldn't go through all of the things that I have went through in preventing, A, for me to take my own life, or A, for me to stop speaking my truth.